Hey, fellow collectors, I'm Anthony with Anthony's Comic Book Art, and we're here with Kelvin Mao. He made the Dave Stevens.
I'm the director of the Dave Stevens Drawn to Perfection.
You executive produced it. You did everything, right?
No, we have an executive producer. We have a editor producer. It was only 3 of us. That's the main thing. Somehow we made a documentary with 3 guys. I don't recommend it.
Okay, but you put it all together.
I'm the director.
Yes, but that means in a documentary that you edited.
No. We have an editor.
Oh, you have an editor too.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Professional editor, 20-year career at Fox Studio. You know, we did it with all the Hollywood guys. So.
Oh, cool. So was that a labor of love for you? I mean, where did it? You're an IT guy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a software developer during the day, and it was definitely like a hobby thing. It was a product of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We were doing nothing but working at home, and so we were looking for something to do creative,
That's so awesome. So, and this is your first production, as far as.
Yes, my first documentary, my first directing credit. I did write a movie that was produced right before the pandemic, which you know about, right? Yes? No, I wrote 10 Minutes Gone, starring Bruce Willis and Michael Chiklis.
Okay.
It came out in 2019.
All right, no, I didn't know about that. Sorry. That didn't. Was that like straight to video type thing, or?
It was a short theatrical, and then.
I mean, not straight to video, but streaming. It's straight to streaming now, not video, right?
Right. No. It was a short theatrical, and
cool.
and then the streaming.
All right. How's he doing now? I hear you. That's a memory lost type.
Oh, at the time, it wasn't quite this public back then. Yeah, I think it progressed more. That was shot in 2018, and he retired for a few more years. So I think he did like a couple more years with the movie. So I think it was.
So let's talk about how it's affected me, because I always like talking about me.
That's why I'm here to talk about you.
I pulled him aside. I've known Kelvin, casually for, 20 years. You've always
30 years probably, right?
I know we did a couple deals here and there.
Yeah,
I bought your Abomination collection. You sold me that at one of Chuck Costas's get-togethers, and I've always tried to look for Deathlock for you.
Oh yeah,
I have a really nice
I love Deathlock.
Rich Buckler commission. This big.
We'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
All right, fantastic.
I mean, I'll part with it just as a thank you for stimulating and not revitalizing, because it sort of created this Dave Stevens surge in the market. And the comics sell so well now, and people have been educated to Dave Stevens and how important he was at that moment, and how good that stuff is, and still holds up to this day.
Well, it's very happy, but unpredicted side effect of the movie, and obviously we did the movie to try and preserve Dave's legacy. So I guess this is what that means, and I think it's great to see more of his books selling and people talking about his art.
Oh yeah, and appreciating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I told you, I just got $300 for the Rocket Girls. What do you call that one? What did he call
Planet
that?
Comics. Planet Comics.
Oh, that's a
#1.
Planet
Planet
Comics.
Comics. Yes. It's right there. Here, let's pan over here. We got a recreation.
I got a recreation by Gary Martin over there, ink artist.
Wonderful image and iconic Dave image.
Yeah,
a lot of
people's.
do.
I had to put a sticker on it that said recreation, because people have come over and gone, "Oh my God, is that the original?" But I want to thank you for that. And there's been a lot of commerce and generated from putting this guy at the forefront of people's minds and with dealers and collectors. So that's really cool.
I really appreciate you saying this. I appreciate that you are involved here. You know what I mean, in keeping Dave's legacy alive. Well,
I've always been a fan. I never could afford a really good piece. I saw them. I saw them with some of the people we were talking about earlier. We don't have to give their names out. They'd rather not, probably. So, but I've seen that stuff. I've heard the stories. Like Pete knew him went to see him in the hospital and said, "Listen, Dave, I want to buy this, that, and the other thing." And then he's like, "No, I gotta hold on to him right now." He was on his way out. That was an interesting story, but. Anyway, what's next for you?
Well, I'm working on another documentary right now about Japanese whiskey and the history of Japanese whiskey, which is the hat. And that I'm in the middle of that right now. We filmed in Japan 20 days in February and a week in May, and we're editing now in post, and it'll be out hopefully early next year, or it'll be done early next year. I'm not sure when.
So I'm going to speculate that when Japan was a closed culture and Westerners couldn't go there, they didn't have whiskey.
That's correct.
And then when they did allow foreigners in, that's when whiskey came to Japan.
Yes, whiskey was brought by Admiral
How smart
Perry.
am I?
Admiral Perry in the
Admiral Perry, yeah.
1800s. They landed in the shores and brought barrels of Scotch, rye, and bourbon, and that's how they as gifts, and that's how they became there initially, or how it was introduced, not how they learned how to make it, but how they came in first contact.
So did Japan have hard liquor before that, or just the rice wine?
Rice wine, but shochu. Shochu is higher proof. It's stronger than the sake you would have with your sushi, But if you get up into like whiskey-ish, types of strengths.
What sparked your interest in that besides your budding alcoholism?
Pretty much my budding alcoholism, but I discovered it.
Mine's in remission.
I discovered it back in around 2014 when it started to get popular. I was reading a bit about it, and I made a visit to London, and they have a lot more Japanese whiskey outside the U.S. than here, and tried a few things. And,
I have another bright question. Where do they get the barrels?
The barrels usually come from whiskey. Wherever it's made, are normally ex-bourbon barrels from bourbon distilleries. So, for example, the biggest Japanese whiskey company is called Suntory. As we've heard, Suntory Time, said by Bill Murray in Lost Translation. But it's Beam Suntory. It's been Beam Suntory since 2014. Oftentimes, the big distilleries merge Scotch whiskey, with bourbon, so that they can move the bourbon barrels straight from the bourbon distillery when they're done to the other whiskey distilleries for aging, because bourbon, by the regulations of bourbon, has to be aged in a virgin charred oak barrel. It can only be used one time.
Yeah.
And so afterwards, it can either go for furniture or firewood, or it goes mainly to the Scotch industry or Japanese
It's mostly
whiskey.
oak, right?
Yeah, it all has to be oak.
It has to be oak, right? How do I know these things? Well, this is just,
But I don't want to get too far from Dave Stevens. I hope that some of your viewers will check out the documentary. It's playing on Samuel Goldwyn Films YouTube channel for free worldwide.
Where did I see it?
You might have gotten the Blu-ray, or maybe on Amazon Prime. It's also on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
I saw it on Amazon
Tubi, Roku, a bunch of library services. Basically,
I have Amazon
any
Prime.
streaming service except Netflix has it. So.
Okay, cool. Well, Kelvin, thank you again for stimulating and revitalizing the Dave Stevens market with art and comics, and interest in him as an artist and his career. You did a great job. You did a great service to this business with the comics and art collectibles. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on,
Right,
and thank you for the kind words.
This is Kelvin Mao, the writer, director, producer, editor, and all things great about the Dave Stevens documentary.
You get in trouble with the editor and all the other guys now.